when I'm doing these streams. So that's what I'm doing now. Just checking the audios. Just stick along with me, and we're gonna get this thing started, man. This is about the search for motivation. That's been a crazy journey and a crazy struggle of mine and a lot of other people. And I'm here to let you know. We can definitely try to find a solution. At least try to help you get to that right direction that'll get you past this thing so you can go on and do them beautiful things to those beautiful things in the world that you want to do. So let's get that, man. And like I said, guys, it's just gonna take 1 second. I'm just gonna share this thing out, man. Make sure it gets to the platforms it needs to get to, and we're gonna make this thing happen. All right, let's share to a group. Let's see the beautiful sights of Sharpsburg. Let's share it there. And let's share it to the 1028. So once again, guys, if you're watching, this is the 1028. Let me pop that back on this screen. A few ways you can follow us. You can follow us on Facebook at the 1028 Podcast, as well as on YouTube. You damn right you can follow us on YouTube and watch this thing on there as well. All live streams get posted on there. So, it's two ways that you can always access this information. And once again, I say every time you press the button, believe me when I tell you, it's going to be, it's definitely going to be something that you can take with you. And it's going to make sure that my goal is to make sure that you are a better person when you leave than when you came to this channel. All right. All right, let's get this thing popping. Let me share this thing one more time to, let's see. Yeah, I think we're good. All right, man. One more time. Oh, got a little feedback. And once again, guys, if you are watching, if you are on here and we're live, let you know right now. You can conversate. Don't be scared to comment. I'm watching the live stream right now, so I'll talk back with you. I can answer any questions that you might have. All those good things, all of those good things. We want to make sure that we are not just watching this thing and just to take the value, just to get value that way. I think a lot of times when you're interactive, you get a lot more value, man. It becomes a thing where, I can answer a question that you have right now, and hopefully it'll be something you can implement right now to your life. So I'm not saying I have all the answers, but I'm one of those people that if I can't answer it, I will. And that's the goal, man. That's the goal. All right, so I think we're just about ready. I want to pull it up just on my laptop to get this thing rocking, and let's get it, man. Let's get it. Refresh this thing. So how y'all doing today, man? It is a cold day in Pittsburgh, man. It is absolutely a cold day in Pittsburgh. I wasn't expecting this, but we here and gonna make this thing happen. Bring up the comments. Let's get a few more people in here. Don't forget to share this thing, guys. We're gonna get this thing rocking. So, all right, we are ready. We are ready. You ready? Absolutely a cold day in Pittsburgh. I wasn't expecting this, but we getting a little feedback. All right, let's get started, man. So, why do I want to sit here? Why do I want to talk about? Why do I want to talk about motivation? Um, I don't want to just talk about motivation. I don't want to bring things to you guys that I'm not dealing with myself because I'm on this journey right along with you. I'm not no better. I'm not, I'm on the same level as you. And people think that motivation is only something you struggle with, but I'm here to tell you that that's a myth. Motivation is absolutely something that every last human being on this planet, as well as every last human being that you've ever admired, has struggled with. It's not anything that you're just dealing with. It's something that every last person is literally dealing with. And I'm here to tell you, even Kobe Bryant, even people like Jeff Bezos, even people like Bill Gates, and I'm maybe not naming all y'all stars, Mark Cuban. Everybody deals with this thing of motivation. They get up in the morning, and there's some days they do not feel like doing what they have to do. And how do they overcome that? I'm not too sure of how they overcome it, but I'm letting you know that they deal with it, and I'm gonna tell you how I overcome it, because that's real quality information that I can give you that's solid. Um, I've done quite a few things in my life, but not I wouldn't say anything to the point of what Mark Cuban has done or what Kobe Bryant has done. But in my journey, it I have to work every day. I have to like there's Saturdays and Sundays where I'm still in this studio trying to create or produce these things that I want to do. And there's days that I get up, just like this morning. I got up this morning and I dragged my feet all up and down the hallway. My wife probably is a little upset with me because I make a lot of noise, just grumbling and everything. But I know I have to get to this space so I can create this type of content as well as some other things that I'm doing. And when you work for yourself, when you're an entrepreneur, if you're not doing it, it's not going to get done. It's not like you can count on a coworker or something of that nature. Maybe later in the future, but at the moment, just starting a business, I can't. So, how do I overcome this? How do I circumvent this feeling from stopping me to doing what I need to do? Man, that's a question that I'm still trying to answer completely, but I can give you what I got. And be honest with you. So I wake up in the morning, and the first thing I like to do is I like to come down to my studio, get here early, before all the hustle and bustle starts, and truthfully, I like to listen to a motivational video. It seems to help me out. Now, I don't know if any of y'all have ever listened to a motivational video. I don't know. But if you haven't, I'm going to tell you right now, like, try it. Definitely try it. There's no loss in you not liking it. If you don't like it, that's cool, but it helps me out. Like, so for those out there that don't know, you can go on YouTube, type in motivational video, and there's people out there that literally make these videos that hypes you up in the morning or hypes you up whenever you watch it. And there's a lot of quotes in there. There's a lot of the music, the way that they're presenting the information. They're talking to you like, you got to think of it like this. It's like Ray Lewis in a huddle and he's hyping up his team before a game. That is what a motivational video does for me. And it sometimes gets me going where I need to go. But to be honest, there's some days that doesn't work for me. I think it's almost like a tolerance you build up to it if you listen to it so many times. And I've been listening to these for about 3 years. So some days it works for me, some days it doesn't. Now, what do I do on the days it doesn't work for me? I have to I got to understand what my purpose is. I have to identify my purpose and use that to try to motivate me. When I say identify my purpose, I don't do what I'm doing just for me because I won't do it if that was the case. There's plenty of times I had to do something for myself and I just don't do it. And that's where a lot of us get stuck in. A lot of times, for me to be motivated, for me to go out there and do something, I have to make sure it's bigger than myself. I have to understand that I'm not just doing this for me. I'm doing this for my grandbabies one day, or doing this for my daughter. I'm doing this for my wife. If I don't accomplish this, then they suffer. Because I seem to be more motivated, and I know this is not probably the best way of thinking about it, but it's the way I think about it. I seem to be more motivated to do something for someone else than myself. So because that's just who I am as a person, I have to make sure that what I'm doing is not just for me. It's something, it's bigger than me. So I make sure, I think of my daughters and what would they think if they seen daddy fail. And I know this is kind of extreme, but it helps me go through it. Or I think about, if I don't accomplish this goal, you know, could this be could this be the thing that they identify with their father as? Somebody who doesn't complete go all the way through. There's all types of ways to do it, and there's a million ways to skin this cat. But these are just a few things that I do. What else do I do if that doesn't work? If I can't use the motivation of me doing it for my family, which sometimes works, sometimes it does not do the trick. Um, what I do is I try to identify. I do research. This is my next one right here. I'm reading a book called Drive. This is a book about motivation. Um, Sometimes when I hit a wall, the only way I can get through that wall or go around that wall, well, there's no shortcuts. You kind of got to go through it. The only way I can go through that wall is to research and understand what's going on with me internally. Why am I not motivated when I have these tools that I used and they worked before, but they're not working now. So maybe I don't have enough information on other tools that I can use to push forward, because I know this is not the first time this has happened. It's like I said, this loss of motivation happens to literally everyone, and it's been happening since the beginning of time. So I know that there's probably some information or content out there that I can research that'll help me, pull through. Because I got to get this thing done. So let me research a little more. Let me figure out some things. So I'll pick up a book, on motivation and what other people have done to combat this feeling. I'm telling you, it is it is remarkable what's actually out there, what information is out there for people like ourselves. Hey, what's going on, Daniel? How you doing? I see you on there, my friend. All right, I'll definitely keep it up. Daniel Ochai, man. Shout out to you, man. You are actually my first guest, man. My first guest. So, like I said, let's get back to this story. So, I picked up this book called Drive from Daniel H. Pink, man, and it the very first 10 pages talks about a story about scientists who research motivation and what drives us as human beings. And they did some research on, and I'm gonna say lab monkeys, right? They did some research on lab monkeys, and the goal was to collect a group of them, put them in a cage, and show them how to, or and let them see how long if they. Let me take that back. They put them in a cage, and they have a lock in there or a mechanism where they have to unlock it, open it, and detach the latch to get to whatever it is underneath it. And hopefully this is making sense to you. But what they did is they put the monkeys in there, and they timed them to see how long it took them to open up this latch and to get through this puzzle that they put in there. Well, it was taking them about 12 minutes. But what they did was they didn't give them a reward. Because usually they've done this test a few times, and the monkeys they had in there before, they would give them a reward to every time they opened it. And it would take them like 12, 15 minutes, and they would give them a reward. Well, they found out that they wanted to test this a little further. So they put monkeys in there and just let them play, let them go in there and play. And what happened was that the monkeys were in. I'm sorry, I'm talking about monkeys here on a Thursday. What's going on, guys, right? The monkeys were in there, and the monkeys, what they did was they let them play in there, and within 16 minutes, the monkeys figured out how to open it. And they continued to open it, and they got faster. They were faster than the other lab monkeys that they had in there that didn't that received a treat for opening it. And they were wondering why these monkeys were able to do it more efficiently. So after they did that, and because they didn't give them anything, no treats or anything for every time they opened it, or rewards. So after they found out that these monkeys were able to do it in a lot faster than the other ones, what they did was they gave them a reward afterwards. And when they gave them a reward for opening up this latch and solving this puzzle, the monkeys tend to struggle to do it. They tend to have more errors when they were trying to accomplish it. And they wondered, why is that? Why is it when we give them a reward uh, that they tend to struggle? Why are they, when they're reward driven, They tend to struggle is what I'm trying to say. And why was it before they were given them a reward that they were going through it flawlessly? And it came down to this. When they were doing it before they were given the prize to do it, they were actually having fun. They were actually having fun opening it up because there was no reward at the end of it. They were just playing, and it seemed to go more flawless. So when they would give them a reward, they would struggle, and then they would take them out and put them back in and have them do it again, and they wouldn't do it until they would do it, and they would continue to struggle. And what that told me was this thing: that sometimes when we were motivated, we're reward driven, you know, and because we know once we accomplish this, this happens. And that mindset, that thinking, is actually something that it works in certain areas, but it will not continue to work as efficiently. You have to find another way to approach it. And what I heard from this book was that sometimes you have to create it and make it fun. And by making it fun and not reward driven, takes the complexity out of it. So when I have something to do in the morning and I'm not motivated, and I went through the whole thing with the motivational video or trying to do it for something that's bigger than myself, I then turn to this thing where, how can I make this enjoyable for myself? How can I make this process more enjoyable? And I try to have fun with it. And sometimes that works for me. And there's many, many other ways that this can keep going and this can happen. But these are kind of the things that seem to work best for me. Is that Zach on there? All right. Well, what's the next thing, man? What's the next thing that I want to talk about when it comes to motivation? Um, let's really captivate that story. And what how can we apply that to ourselves? How can we apply that to our lives? Hopefully, you guys can still hear me. Like, I mean, this has been this has been interesting. I don't know. Maybe we'll end it right there as part one. Let's say this is the very first episode of 1028. There's gonna be plenty more of these, and next time, hopefully, I ain't got too much of a stutter and all these other things. I'm a little nervous because it's the first time I actually had somebody comment on the page, which I'm very grateful for. Daniel A. Ochai. I guess we family. That seems like some of my family over there in Africa hitting me up. But guys, if you're watching, don't forget to follow, and hopefully you come on next time, man. That's what this is about, man. Let's go out there, do something beautiful. The world's counting on you. And have a great day, guys. Have a great day. And I'm out.